Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Remember, today is a brand new day, and now is a brand new moment. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and intuitive life coach. And we are really into some wonderful opportunities, individually and collectively as a species today. I have with me the energy of the divine collective, but there's also Master Jesus been stepping forward about understanding the concept of the here and now, the present moment. And we're going to get into that shortly. We're going to give everybody a chance to come and join us. In case you're new to the channel, this is Shortcuts for Your Soul, and it literally is a program for Shortcuts for Your Soul. If you listen to some of the messages that come through from the Ascended Masters, from archangels, your guides, other multidimensional beings, you'll realize there are ways to get to your awakening a little faster than just muddling your way through your pain and your suffering. There are simple, easy ways that they teach us how to overcome your anger, your fear, your guilt, your shame. There's simple ways of doing that other than pills and drugs and diversions and distractions. There are really simple ways of doing that. Well, I want to say, everybody, for those of you that are hearing these words, keep in mind that we are at a very powerful time right now. There is a huge amount of energy bombarding this planet. It is increasing. And so we can see on the planet that the functions of our behavior are changing too. Human behavior is changing. Biology is changing. These incoming energies change life on the planet. They change the life of your mind. What you think, what you say, what you do is affected by these incoming energies. Science recognizes these energies as gamma rays, cosmic rays, ultraviolet radiation, plasma, coronal mass ejections. It doesn't matter what name you give. This is energy. And what this energy does is it interacts with life on this planet. It changes it and has done so for millions of years. Hundreds of millions of years of transformation and change occurring at regular intervals on this physical planet. The history that you've been taught by conventional geology and archaeology is not that accurate, except within the scope of the understanding based on the scientific method, which only evaluates ideas of truth or falsity based on what actually can be observable to the five physical senses. Well, we incorporate a whole range of realms of information beyond the five physical senses. We call it connecting to our guides, our angels, ascended masters, and other multidimensional beings. That there are realms of information that everybody has access to that will let you get insight and understanding not only on your own life, but on the life of the planet, on the life of the cosmos. And it's really quite delightful. And I want to welcome everybody here. We are in for it. Meditation, grounding, proper hydration are extremely important right now. Being of good spirit, being of sound mind, these things can be brought about by learning to teach your mind and body to be your servants and not your masters. Humanities created quite an interesting situation for itself. We've been so caught up in the excitement and the stimulation of the senses that we've lost our sense ability. Gotten so caught up in having and wanting and this and that we've lost our moral compass in many respects. But you have a great opportunity if you're hearing these words. Meditate. Get into a state of love and grace. As best as you can, release your negative thoughts, your negative emotions. Don't get focused on them. Focus on training the mind, training the body to be open and receptive in a loving, constructive way. These energies that are coming in will amplify what you hold in your mind, both in your conscious mind and in your subconscious mind. These energies will amplify behaviors, whether those behaviors are positive or negative. Your behaviors will be amplified whether they're positive or negative, because behavior comes from your mind. Emotion comes from the thoughts that you generate. And so we find ourselves at this important consideration that humanity's opportunity is here and now. It's not going to be tomorrow. We're not going to fix the world tomorrow. We're not going to fix governments tomorrow. We're not going to fix our problems tomorrow. We have to fix them here and now. And that requires that each and every individual that has enough awareness to realize that what you think, what you feel, direct what your body will say and do. That's the simplest common denominator to every single human being on this planet. That what you have in your mind as thoughts, what you believe, are what determine what you are going to say and do. Keep that in mind. That whatever you're holding in your heart, even if you don't speak it, but if you hold anger, or you hold judgment, or you hold frustration, they're going to get amplified right now unless you learn how to release them. And they say that it's important that you understand that it's here and now, that you must teach your mind and body to be in the here and now, in a state that's more favorable to love than fear. That's pretty simple if you learn how to quiet your mind down. A lot of people believe they can't quiet their minds down. They've been conditioned to not quiet their mind down. I remember when I was young, my mother would sit me in front of the television. I'd watch shows like Combat and Rat Patrol and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, all these shows about conflict and war and being afraid, all these silly shows, Leave It to Beaver, things that portrayed humans in a very awkward manner. The Three Stooges were portraying humans as being buffoons and stupid. Humans are a noble, incredible species. We are. But I was given a view of life that was really ridiculous. And of course, I grew up having a lot of ridiculous experiences that were unnecessary if I had not had my mind filled with garbage. And you must release that garbage from your mind. You must release violence and aggression from your mind, because a lot of it's been put in there in the last 30 or 40 years. A lot of violence and aggression has been put in the minds of our children and in the minds of the adults, in the minds of our teachers. A lot of really stupid things have been put in people's mind, that you fill your mind with death and fear and then expect to be happy or go to sleep at night. You're not going to sleep very well at night after watching a horror movie or watching people get mayhem and destruction. You're not going to sleep very well at night, and your mind gets filled with that. And then that sits in your mind, and then things can stimulate or activate those emotions, the fear, the anxiety, the aggression. And you might find yourself running around and getting upset at people, and then afterwards going, oh my gosh, why did I do that? It's not because anybody wants to be violent or aggressive. Nobody wants to be violent or aggressive. Anyway, they told me to say to everybody, here and now, the change to make for your life and for humanity collectively is here and now. Getting your mind, getting your body into a place where they're quiet, reposed, non-reactive. Divest yourself of negative emotions and thoughts. Divest your mind of these things. And they say that the easiest ways to do that is through meditation, grounding, proper hydration, because what we're experiencing is not going to decrease anytime soon. There will be intermittent periods, but you'll notice that over these last 4 or 5 days, there is a correlation between what's happening on the sun and what's happening in humanity's consciousness. There is a direct correlation between the physical sun and what's happening in the collective consciousness of humanity. And you're not being taught this, and you're not being told this. And it's really important you hear it. The sun transmits massive amounts of energy to this planet. How do you think the planet is alive? Because it receives a stream of energy that gives the planet life. If there were no sun, you already know the result of having no sun would be cessation of life on this planet. The further away you get from the sun than the earth, or the closer to the sun than the earth, you find that there's not much life as we know it based on the experience of being human, which is just one small sliver of an infinite spectrum of living consciousness, right? The human experience is really just a small sliver of an infinite spectrum of different forms of existence and consciousness. So get into the process of learning to liberate your mind and your body from old emotions, the things that you've been taught, the things that your mind's been filled with. And there are simple ways you can learn to do that. Breathing is a powerful tool that you can teach your body to breathe a certain way that will teach your mind to function a certain way, literally. You've heard of that. A lot of people dismiss it. Well, I tried breathing 3 or 4 times. No, try breathing 3 or 4 times really deeply and intently with the idea of quieting and calming my body down. Fill your mind with that thought. As you breathe, I'm quieting and calming my mind and body down. And you change the way in which your internal tone of voice works so as to induce the vibrational condition that supports that idea. That each and every time I breathe, my body's relaxing more fully and more completely. My mind is becoming quieter and calmer and more peaceful. And you learn to recommunicate as the chief executive officer of your own mind and body. You teach your mind and body to be the way you need it to be. So when you get all freaked out or upset about something, I've been there, done that. You can literally say to the body, relax. You can literally do that. People have that capacity. How does it you think people can walk away from a fight? Because they have the capacity to affect change over the compulsions of the mind or the instinctual passions of the body. And we all need to do this right now more than ever. These energies coming into the planet are very powerful and vibrant and vital for every single one of us. It's really the truth. And you want to get to a place where your mind is your servant and your body is your servant and not your master. Right now, a lot of people are finding that their mind and body is their master, not their servant. And those that don't know how to run their own mind are so afraid they're looking for somebody else to do it for them. So you find a government, you find your neighbor, you find somebody who will tell you what to think, feel, say, believe, or do. And if you're going to do that, then at least find sources of information that empower you, strengthen you, inspire you, uplift you, teach you how to be a better version of yourself, how to create more fulfillment and joy in your life. Look for sources. If you're going to look for sources outside of yourself for your happiness, then choose really good sources. And there's lots of them on the planet right now. There's wonderful souls all over the planet right now that will give you the opportunity to connect to a higher version of yourself. They'll give you ideas that are better than you might have for yourself. But for those of you that are familiar with what we're saying, then you know full well that the idea of being able to teach your mind and to teach your body to be quiet, to be calm, to be peaceful is very important at this time. Yeah, so there are somebody saying here in the comment section, there are 2 major solar flares. There's actually been 3 significant major flares. One of the largest ones happened in the wee hours of the morning last evening. And I monitor through a group called Suspicious Observers, which is a YouTube channel I highly recommend if you want to see the dates and the times and the actual activity of the physiological activity of the sun. And you can go check out their channel, Suspicious Observers, on YouTube. And you'll get a full spectrum of what's happening on a daily basis. They run a daily news report that measures the functions of the sun, the Earth's magnetic field, and how these 2 are dancing together. And it's not just the Earth, all the planets, all the stars are dancing with one another in consciousness. There is no separateness in consciousness. So back to our consideration here, that you must understand that the only way humanity is going to make a significant shift in what's happening on our planet is by doing it from the present moment. That we need to individually and collectively surrender our anger, our fear, our guilt, our shame, our judgment, our violence, aggression. We need to surrender those. We need to surrender them at least enough to stabilize our collective emotional field, because the human emotional field, just like your emotional field, wherever you are, the people you love in your life, when somebody's upset around you, you can feel it, even if they don't say a word. And the reason that is because an emotional field leaves the body. It comes out from your body, an emotional field, literally leaves your physical body and connects to other people, events, and circumstances around you. And so individually, we affect each other emotionally just by what we feel and think. Well, the same process goes on between ourselves as a collective species and the sun and the planets and the earth. There is an effect, an electrical, emotional interconnection between us, the sun, the earth, and the other planets. And when that electrical charge gets imbalanced, and again, I'm using language because I don't have the scientific data to structure language that might make sense to scientists, but that this electrical emotion that we have collectively as a humanity is communicating to the sun, and the sun is reacting and responding to our collective energy. And our collective energy has been getting a little bit more negative in the last few years. I don't know if you've noticed, with all the fear, all the judgment, all the anger, the attacks, the wars. These create an electrical field that sends out a signal. And how do you feel when somebody's really upset around you? You get anxious, you get afraid, you might even get aggressive. So emotional fields will affect reactions and responses from the environment, including the people that are around us. Well, our collective emotional energy is emanating out from this planet, and it's interacting with the other systems of the solar system, including the sun. And it reacts and responds according to what we are generating and stimulating. Now, at regular intervals, our emotional maturity as a collective species is what I'm being told. That at regular intervals, our collective emotional energy as a species evolves or devolves over various periods of time. When it devolves, it causes effects that are very detrimental and destructive to not only the environment that we experience in terms of how we interact with the world, but it also interacts with the sun and causes the sun to respond in a certain way. These emotional energies, if they're positive, and we're more leaning towards the vibrational expressions of love, of creativity, of curiosity, of playfulness, of kindness, we have a different electrical connection. What they tell me is when we are in the more positive, thank you so much for that. When we are in the more positive flow of energy, what happens is the periods of time that these cycles happen changes. In other words, the more higher vibrational humanity is collectively, the longer the gaps between these cycles. In other words, we're coming to the end of what they call a 12,000 year cycle. That's because it's taken 12,000 years for human collective unconsciousness to degrade itself to the vibrational state of fear that we're seeing sweeping across the planet right now. And so we're seeing the sun reacting and responding, just as we see what we say and do to each other, are manifestations of our individual and collective emotional states. This is important to understand. So the idea that only from here and now can you make a change means that we need to learn to shift our individual and collective emotion. Oh, hello, Mansoor. That we must learn to shift our individual and collective emotion from fear to love if we want to enjoy this wonderful humanity that we've been experiencing for the last 11,000, 12,000 years, as it appears to be now. This is the pinnacle of everything that's happened since the last transformative reset, if you want to call that happened as a result of the electrical emotional connection between humanity and Earth, which happened about 12,000 years ago. Well, the same process is underway, except it's an electrical connection, so the time period is shorter and the effect is going to be more detrimental and destructive on a planetary scale than if we were in a more dominant state of love, playfulness, compassion. In scientific terms, what they would say is we are in an interglacial state. We're in a state between two very cold periods where there was a huge glacial time of freezing, a cooling on the planet. And there have been many of these. They've been able to trace many of these back for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. And that in these interglacial states between when it's really cold, it warms up and then it cools down again. And that the emotional state that we're in, they tell me that the cooling down and the heating period changes and varies according to the collective emotional energy that's being demonstrated and emanated from the life forms that exist on this physical planet. If we are able to shift and change that vibrational energy from one state to another, we change the conditions and the interactions between ourselves, the life forms on this planet, and what we call the physical sun in the sky that's, again, reacting and responding to our energy. That's about the simplest way that this can be put forward to everybody. And we're going to get into questions and answers because I know that's what you're here for today. But it's so important you understand that grounding, what is grounding? Getting your body connected to the earth. And everything you're hearing here, by the way, you can learn in our masterclass series. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our masterclass series. We have our upcoming masterclass 101 called Awakening. And awakening is the process where you begin to realize, wait a minute, I know there's more to my life than what I'm experiencing. There's got to be more to my life. You know there is. Everybody does. And in our 101 masterclass Awakening, we help you become familiar with and aware of what is actually happening to you in this place where you're realizing, who am I? What's really going on with my life? I know there's more to my life than what I'm just experiencing. And we call that process awakening, where you're beginning to know and question why your life is the way it is and what it is you need to do to find out what makes your life really more fulfilling and happy. Learning to connect to your guides and angels becomes very useful at this point, especially now when you may be being bombarded with information, ideas from the internet, from television, from radio, from news stations that may not be very good. That puts your mind and body into a lower state of vibrational functioning. That happens. And they say to me, it's really important that you learn to control your own emotional energy, that you learn to become the master of what you would allow your mind to think and what you would allow your body to do. As you begin to gain insight and understanding into who you are as a spiritual consciousness, then the role that you have over the function of your body, indeed the function of your entire experience in this world, takes on a very exciting new dimension when you realize that you are a creating intelligence, that you are a creating intelligence. And you can come learn from us directly of these things, of who you are, what is your purpose, why are you here, what is your function. You are not who you think you are, but you certainly become what you think. And most of what you think, you have not even chosen to think. It was simply given to you to think it. And you can learn to unthink that which does not serve you and think that which would serve you. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, if you want to connect more to them and hear more about that experience of being. Questions? Happy day to you too, Rebbe. Good to see you. You're welcome, Marigold. I'm glad that worked for you. Isn't there a source of light and life coming from within the earth as well? Yes. So Stephen Georgopoulos is saying, isn't there a source of life that comes from within the earth? Yes, there is. And it's literally a source of light. I've been told that it's a plasma core. It's literally a living light. That's what this plasma core, it's literally a living light. So while the light comes from the central point of the earth, it's nurtured and fed by the energy of the sun. Just like a mother has to feed a child, the sun feeds the planets with its energy at the different levels and frequencies that they operate, the different dimensions of life that live on the other planets, because there are different dimensions of life that exist, not only on this planet, but on the other planets as well. But yes, that's very true. That's very, very true, Stefan, that there is a natural life within the planet. Just like in your body right now, there's something that is beating your heart. There's a life in your body that keeps the body functioning. And the earth has a similar life within it that keeps it functioning. And we're an extension of that. But that's a really great awareness. Thank you for sharing that, Stephen. Appreciate it. Am I able to tell you who's always around you? Need to know if it's bad or good. I'm being told to tell you it shifts depending upon your current energy. A lot of people are shifting back and forth from fear to love, from positive to negative. And whatever frequency you're on, that's the the entities you're going to connect to. If you're in a state of anger or frustration, you will have low vibrational energies influence you. If you're in a higher vibrational state, like people who watch aggressive things all the time, that engage in violence, that don't have a natural outlet for that, will tend to be aggressive to other people. People that tend to focus on nature and love and light, they tend to express differently. But the energies around you will shift and change according to your dominant emotional state in any given moment. So be mindful of what you're going to choose to think, because you've been flipping back and forth between the two. That's why you're wondering if it's good or bad. It's both, because you keep shifting your awareness from a positive state to a negative state. And so you shift your experiential energy from positive to negative. That means you connect energetically to vibrational consciousnesses that are either positive or negative. This is why it's so important. Meditation is crucial right now for humanity to understand this on a global scale. It's really important, because only from the present moment can change what's actually happening. You can't change it tomorrow. You can't fix the world tomorrow. You can't fix your problems tomorrow. You can fix them right now by learning to shift your energy. And when you shift your energy sufficiently enough, the world around you starts to change. Again, they explain all this in the masterclass series. Come and learn with us. You only got a few more weeks to sign up. So you want to get signed up for that and learn from the Ascended Masters directly. Learn with other teachers that work with you in groups, live events that happen every day for a period of 3 weeks. Yes, it's very important you understand that. Do my guides want me to move abroad? Yes, they do, Anna. They want you to move around, but they're telling me to tell you to move in the footprints of joy, that you move forward in your joy, not in anything other than this. There are great delights that will come to you in this when you move forward in your joy. A lot of people are getting this compulsion to want to move or travel, and this is a normal thing that starts to happen when these energies are coming. It's an energy of change, and that change can be good or not so good. But for you, you want to move forward, yes, in the footprints of joy. They're showing me a giant sunflower, a big sun. What are you showing that for? That your light will become as the sun. You'll be able to follow the sun. They're talking about this, the inner light. When you move with your joy, you'll follow your inner light, which is better than the light that's been given to you by the world. I love that. Hi there, guys. If you have a question that you definitely want answered today, use the super chat feature if you're over on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, you can use the Linktree link in my bio, and you can connect and send a question right through PayPal there. That way it will definitely give it. Hello, good morning. I'm glad you're joining. Hi, Justin. Is my grandmother around me? She's not around you at this moment, but she's around you when you need her. She's around you when you truly need that. Yes. She says she grabs your ear and pulls you along sometimes. You can get very single focused, but she says she grabs you and pulls you around by the ear sometimes. So if you ever feel like a weird sensation in the ear, it's your grandmother tugging at you, trying to get you to pay attention. Thank you so much. Will I be more successful if I change living locations? Hi, Delinda. If I tune into your energy, Delinda, I'm being told to tell you, if you believe and feel that this is true, then it will certainly be true. You may believe the same thing exactly where you are. If you can shift your energy into the function of success, the vibration of success and joy, then you can certainly be successful anywhere, including where you are this moment. The vibration of your energy is orchestrating the effects of your experiences. And this is not for you specifically, but for all. Every single soul in this physical dimension is experiencing the vibrational conditions which they themselves precipitated with their own consciousness, including those that come into embodiments that are very difficult and painful, such as those being born in areas where there's great mayhem and destruction. Every individual soul manifests and produces the conditions in which they find themselves experiencing the material world. When you learn how to functionally change your own energy, you can functionally change the way your world is around you. Why is it that some escape the mayhem and destruction? Because they change their vibration. And why do not individuals escape the mayhem and destruction? Because they do not know how to change their vibration. They have forgotten, and the environment often is not favorable. But if you can bring yourself to the awareness that your consciousness and the emotional energy that you align yourself to will wholly and completely change your world, not only individually, but collectively, which is what we are saying through this one quite frequently, that you can readily change your experience of your life when you understand the nature and function of thought and emotion, which we teach in great detail through this one. We encourage you to come and join us. It is certainly well worth the journey if you know that the destination is your own fulfillment and happiness. Yes. How can I know if my dad is with me? He passed away recently. What's that? Hi, Jamie. Okay, two ways. I mean, for me, the first time when my dad passed away about 6 or 7 years ago, when he passed away, it was probably a little longer than that. Anyway, he passed away, and I'm sitting in my condo in Toronto, and I just got this crazy urge to drink a beer. It was like this overwhelming compulsion to drink a beer. And I said to my wife, I got this crazy urge to drink a beer. I don't drink. So why have I got this urge to drink a beer? And she said, well, who is it? She asked me the question. I went, oh. So I tuned in, and it was my dad. He said, I just wanted to have a sensation of what a beer feels like again. I miss it. So whenever my dad comes around, I always get the sensation of wanting to drink a beer. And for him, I found this type of beer called 0% alcohol beer. So every once in a while, if he pops around, he likes the sensation of that. So if I drink this 0% beer, it reminds him of the joy he had on hunting trips and things that he used to do. But that's how I know when he's around. If I tune into your dad right now, he said he liked the baseball theme. Whenever things relating to baseball come up unexpectedly for you, it suddenly appears to you out of a corner of your eye, or catch it on a television. That's when he's trying to connect with you through baseball. Is one of the ways that was the easiest way that you'd be most familiar in terms of him connecting to you as opposed to you connecting to him. When that happens, by the way, for anybody, when you sense or feel something unusual around you, especially if it's a parental figure, they'll connect to you in a way that you can understand it, in a way that they know that you will know it's them. So yeah, that's the way he will connect to you, Jamie. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So what do my ancestors want from you? Your ancestors don't want anything from you. They want you to realize the fullness of your own expression, that be an expression of them, also a higher expression of them, that you can be more than they were. You stand on their shoulders. They've been lifting you up for a long time. To be the ultimate expression of yourself. Be the greatest light that you can be. Be the greatest light that you can be. I don't know why I'm being shown like excavators and backhoes. They're showing me all these images of excavators and backhoes. Builder, something about building for you. They're very insistent that you've got to build something that's based on their expression experience. But there's something about, all this construction equipment, but building something for you. Very important. Hey, Max, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Should I plan to come back to the States in 6 months? I'm being told it should be longer. You might want to come back a bit longer than 6 months. I'm being told March of next year would be a more favorable time for you to return back. That's what I'm being told. But thank you, Max, for that. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. My trial is going to end up good. How do you feel about that? Again, you are creators. We are all creators. They keep telling me this. You are as Jesus is. You are as Buddha is in potential. We are like them in potential. We have to actualize that potential. But yeah, your trial can go really well if you really get connected that it's going to not go well just for you. I want it to go well. No, it goes well for everybody. Make certain it goes well for all. Have that in your mind. I want this to go well and good for all of us involved. All of us involved. Get that in your mind right now. I want this to go well for everyone involved. Even the person that's at the other end that might be the cause of the challenge. Don't just wish for yourself. Wish good for others as well. Right? We spending too much time as a species wanting to get even with those people, and oh yeah, they did this to me, and I'm going to get. That's nonsense. That's why this reset is beginning to happen right now, because we're so in that energy of nastiness. Ruse Tarot is asking, what angel or being is around me, and what is the message, if any? Thank you. I'm being shown the energy of fairies, and they tend to work with the forests and the trees and flowers a lot. Yes, they're saying that you have a very natural green thumb that needs to be used. Tend to and care for the plants around you. You can feel our presence when you do so. Now that you have heard this message, you can feel our presence with you when you do so. Tend to those things that we also tend to. That you actually worked as one of them, as a nature spirit, as a deva in another lifetime. Yes, I do readings. You can go to my website and you can book a reading with me through my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, half-hour reading or 1 hour reading. Yes. Yes, your mindset does mean everything. Hi, guys. Good to see you. Can I tell you something about your guides? Yes, they tell me that you don't listen to them enough. You have not learned to hear them. And most people don't even hear their guides or angels. What was that? Sometimes I thought I heard somebody's voice. They do the best they can to connect with you, but most people's ears are closed and eyes are closed. They tell me this all the time. You don't hear them because you're not actively trying to listen to them. And again, in our Masterclass 101, you can take practical steps and learn how to connect to your guides and angels and learn how they try to connect to you. Feel how they present themselves to you, because they do. They present themselves in very specific ways that will be unique to you. And you can tune into what those are. Okay, you've got just a couple more weeks left to sign up for the Masterclass. It's Masterclass 101 Awakening. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Learn how to connect to your guides and angels. They're always trying to communicate with everyone, the low ones and the high ones. And there's a lot of people on this planet got some wonderful beings working with them. And there's some people on this planet that got some really low vibrational beings working with them. And you can change which ones you're working with by changing your vibration, right? Yeah. Hi, soul. Is anything interfering with my clarity? I feel I have brain fog. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. There is a concerted effort to keep people asleep to their higher capabilities. Most of those in positions of authority and control around the planet have seduced most people by their senses. It smells good, tastes good, it feels good with your body. They got you lost in flesh. and you need to learn to wake up. But yeah, if you want to get rid of brain fog, you need to start eating high vibrational foods. Something else that we teach in our masterclass, how to change what you eat, how to meditate, how to ground, how to tune into the energy of your guides and your angels and the ones that want to work with you. So yeah, it's difficult to tune into them if you're filled with toxins like alcohol or drugs, or you're filled with vibrational things, of thoughts that are destructive and negative. It's very hard for you to perceive the love and the guidance of ascended masters, of your guides and angels, if you're in a state of suffering, or if your body's in a state of decay because you're not treating it properly. Right? Thank you. Great question. Is Reiki helpful for awakening? Yes. The practice of Reiki is very good for awakening your energy, making you energy sensitive. In fact, if you're curious about sensing energy right now, let me do something really simple with you guys. If you want to do this, take your two hands and hold them out shoulder distance apart. Take your two hands and hold them out shoulder distance apart. And then start to bring your hands slowly together and just feel what you feel between your hands as you bring them closer together. Don't let them touch, but bring them close together. Maybe get them about an inch and be aware of what you feel between the two hands as you do this. And then move them back and forth a bit and just feel what you feel. Some of you will first recognize the sensation of heat, but some of you might feel like a pressure that's there because there is an invisible field of energy that is emanating out around your hands. And Reiki teaches you how to harness that energy, because it's a living energy, and how to use that energy to heal your body, or to transmit healing to other people. But again, you can learn all these things in the masterclass, the fundamentals of energy, how to tune into it, how to connect to it, how to develop yours so you can begin to heal your mind and heal your body, right? Because most people are conditioned by the powers that be to be in fear, to be judgmental, to be angry, to be lustful, to be caught up in all those things. Anyway, very difficult to find yourself when you're distracted by the world around you. Everything has energy. Yeah, let me know what you experienced if you did that. Let me know what you experienced. Leave it in the comment section. What did you feel? How did that affect you when you brought your hands close together and moved them around? Let us know what you experienced. Tell us what you felt. Babette's asking, is it safe for me to Tulum, Mexico next month? Yes, it is safe for you to do so. I'm feeling a lot of exciting energy. Yes, it is. You're gonna encounter some very interesting mystics down there. Yes. There is so much fear and doubt being spread about wonderful countries like Mexico. Mexico is a beautiful country, beautiful people. And like any other country, it's got its challenges, but the people are beautiful. The place is wonderful, and you're going to meet some wonderful souls on your journey. I can tell you that from what I'm being given, and also from what I'm experiencing, because I'm down there right now. Right. Debbie's asking, my husband is experiencing a season of personal, physical, and mental challenges. Would his guides kindly share any insight or ways I can support him through this? Thank you. You can certainly let the vibration of vitality, you can transmit a vibration. You're just thinking the thought, my husband is vital, and feeling the energy of that thought, my husband is vital, to feel that thought. But more than that, you need to teach your husband, or he needs to learn to change what he's eating, to change what he's thinking. He has to change those things. Look, just one thing alone, getting rid of caffeine from your diet alone will begin to correct a lot of things for him. The blood pressure and the other things that he's challenged with right now. These things can be corrected really easily just by him getting rid of caffeine. And he's got to be willing to give these things up. A lot of people are addicted to caffeine and they think it makes them feel good. It's an artificial substance that it keeps you addicted to it. So yeah, you want to get him registered for our masterclass, Debbie, or have him book a reading with me. where he can learn and gain personal, detailed insights about what he can functionally do for his unique situation. Because the information that will come for your husband specifically will be very different than the information coming to you that you've requested on behalf of your husband. Very different information, because you vibrate differently than your husband does. So you're going to receive different information and he will receive, right? Get him to book a reading with me, and his life will take a very different turn when you experience the energy of your guides. You experience the energy of someone like Master Jesus, or you experience the energy of Buddha, or you experience the energy of a relative that's left the body and they connect to you. There is an awareness, there is a sensation, it's indescribable. It's phenomenal to watch somebody connect to a loved one that they believed was dead, and they suddenly connect to an energy and they feel their presence. It's incredible to watch somebody's eyes when they realize there's no such thing as death. That death is the veil of an illusion that we have about what we are. But thank you for that, Debbie. Thank you for your question. Oh, you're welcome, Babette. You're very welcome. Hi. Here it seems so chaotic. It seems people are so lost and distracted. Yes, they are, Kathy. There's lots of distractions, lots of things being put in people's minds. Turn your televisions off, for Pete's sake. And if you're going to watch something on TV, watch something that nurtures your mind. People watching The Walking Dead and watching movies of mayhem and destruction. And you expect to have a peaceful mind if you fill your mind with those types of things? You're absolutely right, Kathy. That's why people are confused, because they're looking outside of themselves to find their fulfillment. And you'll find fulfillment inside yourself by learning to run your own mind, make your mind think the way you need it to think. But most people are not thinking their own thoughts. Most people are thinking the thoughts they were told to think. Even these people running around on the streets, in protests, and even the people doing these things are not thinking their own thoughts. They're thinking thoughts that were given to them, and they're reacting to those thoughts that were given. They don't think for themselves. Very few people think for themselves these days. And the thing that people need to do more than anything else is to learn to think for themselves. Because if you let the world think for you, you're not going to be very happy. There are people in this world that don't want you to be wealthy. There are people in this world that don't want you to be successful. They want you to be a slave. They want you to pay the government mafias. They don't want you to be more than what they want you to be. So they tell you what they want you to think in their schools, in their educational facilities. They tell you how you should be, dressed like this, look like this, walk like this, talk like this, be a Kardashian. Oh, yes, right? They tell you how they want you to be, knowing that you're not likely going to be it, or that you'll pile up tons of debt to try and get there. But when you recognize and realize your own power to become the best version of yourself that you can, wow, that's what they don't want people to do. In the Masterclass series, you will meet ascended beings that will show you, teach you, and guide you to discover yourself and your power over your mind and your body. They'll put the responsibility for your own creation back where it belongs, in your own mind, in your own thinking, in your own doing. Sign up for the masterclasses. Do it. March the 9th. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Yeah, it is beautiful about my dad. I really love that when he comes around. Doesn't so much anymore. First time I did that, he kept coming around for a while. And then it got less and less, because when they start to remember who they are outside the personality, they start to evolve into other experiences. When you realize you're not who you think you are, and you start to remember who you actually are, you don't become so attached to people and things in the same way you used to be, because you realize that those things aren't what the things and the people aren't what make you what you are. They can contribute to it in a good way or a not so good way, but that you get to actually create and manifest what you are in a very different way. You get to do that. But again, the system that exists right now is seeking to keep people from realizing that you are not your thoughts, you are not your body, you are a spiritual consciousness. Kelly, is saying people struggle to be in the moment. Yes, they do, because they're not taught to be in the moment. You're taught to think about your future, think about your tomorrow, watch this TV show, always tomorrow, always later. So how can you ever be in the present moment if you're always wondering what's going to happen tomorrow? No, you have to learn to be in the present moment. In our Masterclass 102, one of the most cornerstones of that program is learning how simple it can be for you to bring yourself into the present moment. And we've had people that have come into our master classes that said, I can't meditate. I've tried to meditate. I don't know if I'll be able to do this course because I can't meditate. I've tried many times. I've gone to, and they come to the course, and within the first week, they're meditating. And they're going, my God, I'm doing it for 2 hours. I love it. It's bliss. And it is. When you realize that you are not your body, you are not your mind, that you can teach you yourself can teach your own mind and body what to think and what to feel. You can teach your mind to do that. Come and learn with us. Come and learn with us how to be the leader of your own mind and body instead of letting your governments and your television shows and everything outside of you do that for you. And if you're going to, at least find things outside you that will teach you to be a better version of yourself. And there are lots of men and women on the planet that are doing that. They're actively elevating people up to be a better version of themselves. So if you're going to let anybody think for you, at least let them have good thoughts about what your life can be. Right? But in our master classes, they tell us very clearly, you must realize that you are a divine entity, that you came and descended into matter to learn the function of creation, that you have authority over the conditions of time and space and matter, far more than you could ever conceive that you do. When you come to that realization, what a joy, what a joy, what a joy to know that you are the creator. What a joy. And it is a joy. It really is. How do I know my granny, Mary, my cousin, Matt, is near, they died within a month apart. Yeah, they were very close. They had a very intimate lifetime in another lifetime. They're trying to come back together, but they came back together, but not in a way they could be together in the way they really wanted to, right? So they left in a very close proximity so they could actually try and get together. Right now, my partner and I, we've been together that we know for at least 12 lifetimes. And we had this incredible moment that I want to share with you. When we first reconnected in this physical dimension, this would be about 14 years ago. And we had this moment. We were watching a movie called The Notebook with James Garner. And there's this moment in The Notebook where his wife, it's a story about a man whose wife is losing her memory. And she slips in and out of remembering him and not remembering him. They go through this long period where they don't remember each other. She doesn't remember him at all. And he faithfully goes to the home that she's staying in, where she's being cared for. And he faithfully goes there day after day, week after week, month after month. And every time he goes to see her, she gets freaked out. She doesn't remember him. Who's this strange man? And this goes on for months. And then there's this one scene in the movie, and he goes to see her, and she's in the room waiting for him. And he's, of course, expecting the worst. And he goes in, and she looks up from the table. And she looks at his eyes, and she goes, oh, how long has it been? How long has it been? I love you, babe. So he looks at her in this moment, and she goes, how long has it been? And in that moment, I turn to my wife, and she looks at me, and we start bawling our eyes out. We suddenly remembered these lifetimes of joining and separating, the pain of separation, the bliss of unity that we experienced these many lifetimes. And we had to actually pause the movie. We actually had to pause the movie for about 40 minutes. We sat there laughing and crying as we remembered these lifetimes. I remember, we're saying to each other, I remember, right? And that went on. She's crying too now. It's an amazing thing to have that realization. So yeah, it's for your Nana and him. they just didn't connect in the right way in this lifetime. So they moved on close together so they could do that. And that's what happens. Anyway, when you have that realization that you are not limited or localized to this particular lifetime, that your body is what you use to operate in a dimension of time and space. Thank you, Dad. That you're literally, when you can feel great bliss and great sorrow and be okay with it and realize that it's not the end of you, it's not the all of you, that loss and gain are two sides of the same coin of bliss, that you get to experience the comings and goings of yourself through eternity in different ways. And I'll tell you, and my wife would tell you the same thing, that when we sat there, the intense sadness that we would feel from remembering one lifetime, and then the incredible bliss when we realized we reconnected again and watching these lifetimes, it's so humbling. It's actually quite funny when you think about it, that we are literally in the costumes of playfulness. We're on a stage, as Shakespeare said, all the world is but a stage, and you are but the actors. And all the men and women. Yes, thank you, Karen. She knows Shakespeare better than I do. Anyway, I just want you to know that the reality of what you are is not just localized to that body mind that you are hearing these words in right now. That's not the all of you. That's one aspect of you that you have an opportunity while you're in the body that you're in right now to learn who you really are, that you are a being of tremendous creative potential, a being of profound love and also of profound sorrow, that you get to create experience. You get to create your experience, or you can defer that to somebody else doing it for you, like a government or your mom or your dad, or somebody else can create for you. They can tell you how to be, what you should be when you grow up, young man or young woman. Maybe you should become a doctor or a lawyer, they'll tell you. And you can become what somebody else tells you to become, but that's not very fulfilling. Sometimes it is. But when you start to realize who you are, that you can create your own destiny, that you can fulfill such an incredible thing, it's very humbling and also very exalting. It is a most wonderful thing. Yeah. And all that from that person asking about her grandmother and her cousin. I dreamed of my Nana holding my late son, who was older than when he passed. That's wonderful. Yeah, they'll come to you in dreams. They'll come to you in messages. There's so many different ways your guides, your angels, loved ones can communicate with you. One of the biggest challenges that your loved ones face when they leave the physical dimension is you're believing that they're gone. That's the most difficult thing for your loved ones. When they leave the physical embodiment, when they try to connect to you, what happens? Here's what happens with most people. When the people that you love leave the body, and you feel this feeling of pain because you're believing that they're gone. And that pain is because you're believing they're gone. And they're not gone. They're just not in a physical form anymore. So they can't talk to you in words. They can't touch you with their hands in the same way that they could when they were in a physical body. But they still exist in consciousness. And they find it very frustrating sometimes when they try to connect you and suddenly you feel their presence and you go, oh, I miss them so much. In that moment, you're telling their energy that they don't exist, and it hurts them too. So when you find yourself suddenly ruminating about a loved one that's recently passed, in that moment, that rumination is what your mind brings up in reaction and response to their energy interacting with your system. And it's called, the physics behind it is called a process of induction, in that their energy comes into your field. It's imparted into the energy field around you when they get close to you energetically. And what's in your field about them gets resonated up in your mind. And suddenly you go into the memory of them and you're disconnecting then from the energy of them in the present moment. So next time you start thinking about somebody that you love that's passed, Next time you find yourself suddenly thinking about them for no reason at all, pause, because in that moment, they are literally energetically with you. And if you can just forget about what you remember and just feel the love, the delight, the wonder at the connection you can have with them. Again, in our Masterclass 101, we will walk you through the techniques, the process where you can prepare your mind and body to receive and perceive them on the level that they're at. Just like we created radio systems to perceive and receive signals that we can't see, so too you can prepare your mind and body to receive and perceive those beings that you love that are not in a physical form anymore, right? Greetings from Germany. Hello, Germany. Good to see you, Germany. Yes. Yes. Was ist das? Yes. Oh, my mom connected to me through Rod Stewart. Yeah, that's wonderful. They'll do that. They'll play their favorite music around you. They'll find ways of getting in touch with you that you can receive them. But again, what most people do is they have an immediate reaction in their mind to their energy. So you feel their energy and suddenly you think, oh, they're gone, they're dead. You think that, and the pain you start to feel is the rejection of them connecting with you in the present moment. Seriously, try this. Next time you find yourself suddenly thinking about somebody, forget about what you remember and just be present with that energy. Oh, they're with me right now. Just feel their energy here and now with you. You can even call them forth. You can actually ask them to come to your connect to your energy, and they will. Just don't let your mind get in the illusion that they're gone, or because they're gone from the sense that they're not a physical body. They're gone in the sense that they can't speak to you in physical words, but they can communicate with you in energy. Remember that. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Did I miss a question from you? Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Loretta is asking, are there any messages for me today from Master Jesus? Wow. Thank you, Maria. Who's this, Maria and Loretta? Be open to receiving the love. Be open to receiving that love in me, which is in thee. Be open to receiving that love in me that is in thee. He says another way to put that is to be aware that you are the love that you wish to have me offer you. If you understood that you are the same delight that you see me as being, then we shall both be delighted in the truth. We shall both be delighted in the truth of that love. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it when people call him in. Healing the inner child, there are books. Well, in our Masterclass 102, you don't have to go into deep shadow work. You don't have to go through years of reliving your experiences and going through all that stuff. There are simple, easy, practical ways you can heal your inner child. Really simple. We've had people that have had literally decades of anger and rage that they've been holding on to from what happened to them as children, that in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and even as long as a couple of years, completely heal from that. It's amazing to completely heal your inner child, because only you can do that. The inner child will not heal itself. It needs you to love it. And you'll learn very specific ways on how to give love to that aspect of yourself and watch it transform. I've literally watched people burst into tears of absolute bliss because that part of them inside received love from them for the first time in 40 years. Because some of us go through lifetimes compartmentalizing our pain, our anger, our suffering that we went through as children, and then having to deal with it and carry it for lifetimes. and then to suddenly engage that from a perspective of love, to actually be able to learn how to extend love into your own being, to give the love to your child that it needs right now, that it still needs. You can watch amazing things happen in people. It's such a delight. I got the best job on the planet. I really do. Thank you, SJK, for those who are asking questions that are not getting answered. Please write the word question before your question. It makes it easier for my brain, because I've trained my brain to look for that word question. That way I know that somebody's asking a specific question, and then I can get to it. But yeah, today I want to encourage everybody today, really focus on being relaxed, peaceful, quiet. Get your feet connected to the earth. Drink proper amounts of water today, good water. Eat more living food than dead food today. Eat food that's like living food, like oranges, apples, bananas, fresh greens, but put more life in your body today, because the energies that are impacting the planet now and have been doing so for the last 15 days, these energies are going to affect everyone and are affecting everyone. They'll make those people that are happy, happier. They'll make those people that are angry, angrier. And if you do not know how to ground your energy, if you do not know how to keep your body properly hydrated, if you do not know how to operate your own thinking mind, then whatever's in your mind is going to be activated by these energies. That which is good will be amplified. That which is not so good will be amplified. And we're seeing that polarity on the planet of absolute insanity and absolute wonder, because these energies are what are being amplified. What you hold in your heart, what you hold in your mind will be amplified. It's that simple. What you hold in your heart, what you hold in your mind will be amplified. So you want to change your mind. Get it quiet, get it calm, get it peaceful. Get it excited, get it playful, get it curious. But get your energy up. Bring your body's energy up. Bring your mind's thinking up. And these energies will lift you higher than that. And if you're in the place where you're into sadness and depression, then the energies will bring that up. So you'll feel more frustrated, more anxious, more depressed. And that's not much fun. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. And my whole focus for the rest of this lifetime is to allow the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom of the Ascended Masters to come through me, to go to you, that you might be free of unnecessary suffering, because all suffering in truth is unnecessary once you remember who you are, and that you are not your thinking mind. You are not your body. These are simply instruments of creation, right? That's all. Somebody's saying, I just came out from a meditation of inner child. I cry before I come here. That is so true. I was blocking abundance. And it's very true. Everything in your life is maintained by an emotion you hold in your consciousness. Everything in your life right now is in place because of an emotion you hold in your body system. You're holding energy in your body that causes effects in the world. And we will guide you on how to release those emotions quickly, safely, easily, effectively, and profoundly. You'll awaken. You are here to awaken, not to remain asleep, not to remain a sheeple. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I can understand that too. Thank you for the badges and gifts. I really appreciate it. Remember, share this, guys. If you're on the live, share it. If you're on YouTube, share it. Get other people engaged in this. Give it subscriptions, thumbs up, whatever you can do to raise the awareness of the algorithm, this artificial intelligence. By the way, if something is intelligent, it's not artificial, folks. If something is intelligent, it's not artificial. Anyway, do what you can from where you are to raise this up to other people. Bring it to them as well. There are many millions of people on this planet that need this knowledge, this information. Please do this today, like right now. Go out, give it a thumbs up, share it. Remind everybody that we go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Monday and Wednesday, we deliver messages from the Ascended Masters, many multidimensional beings. As well, we do Q&A, where we will take questions and answers, and we'll connect to your guides, your angels, the ones that you're working with, the ones that you may not even be aware you're working with. And you get messages and information that can prove equally beneficial. Unfortunately, we can't give you the same intensity that we can provide in the masterclass series, where it's a very intense learning environment for a 3-week period. It's very intense, an hour every day of learning, instruction, and meditation, that you get a chance to originally become the proper authority. You begin to take the driver's, you take the steering wheel of your life. Rather than being a passenger in your own life, you can become the driver. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you for the roses. Really appreciate it. Hi there. Hello from Chicago. They're asking, am I going to find a better job? I don't know who this is. They're asking you the question. Are you going to? Are you going to? They want me to ask you that question. Are you going to? There ought to be only one answer to our question. And if we tell you yes, then would you accept that from us? That yes is yes. Will you wholly accept that from us? Because if you accept that from us, then you've accepted it for yourself. And you must accept it for yourself in order for you to have that which you would accept. So from our perspective, it is an absolute yes. Are you willing to accept that and say, yes, I am? And yes, it shall be done. It shall be done. Oh. The name I was given to tell you about that individual that just spoke to you is Marklin. Marklin is one of your guides. Marklin is one of your guides. He says you're a little bit slow sometimes on the draw. But he says that you also, when you get an idea that you understand it clearly, you're like a dog with a bone. When you get an idea and you understand it, you're like a dog with a bone. And you can really hold on to it. Yeah, it's great. Marklin, remember, write his name down. Speak their name, right? If you know the name of your guides and angels, you can speak the name and feel their energy. So you can do that. You can call on the energy of Marklin anytime and you'll feel his energy, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ali Babber is asking, I feel lost. Is there any message for me? Yeah, right now, Ali, sit down. If you're not already sitting, sit down. And take a slow, deep breath. Fill your lungs completely and hold the breath. And hold it. Keep holding it for about 3 to 4 seconds. And then when you exhale, let your body relax. And then do that breath again. Hold the breath again for 4 seconds. And then let it relax. What you're beginning to do now is take authority over your body. So keep breathing slowly like that. And with each exhale, let your body relax more. Let your body relax more. With your breath, you can even think to your body, relax. Because you've got to reassume the role of authority. You're the CEO of your own mind and body, or you should be. And your life is a product of what you have in your mind and in your energy. And most of what you have in your mind and in your energy is not even yours. And that's true for all of you, most of you anyway. That what is in your mind and what you hold in your body, most of that is not even yours. The emotions, the memories, the thoughts, the beliefs you have, most of them are not even yours. And you must learn to surrender that which is not yours and decide what you want to take ownership of. I am love. I am playfulness. I am compassion. I am creative. I'm dynamic. I'm wondrous. I'm curious. I'm social. You must learn to generate and stimulate qualities of energy that will support the production of a creative experience of life that represents who you really want to be. But many of you are challenged by the beliefs you've been given from the world that tell you you are this and you are that. You might be this, you might be that. You could be this, you could be that. You have been given many thoughts that disconnect you from the very nature of your own creative power. That you can think a thought and manifest an energy that causes a functional effect in your experience of time and space. That you can functionally create an energy with a thought, the energy of strength and power, compassion and kindness, creativity, persistence, that you can create energy, that you are the one that creates the energy. Or you may allow another to give you thoughts like, well, maybe you're good enough. My mom says I could be this, but she's, doesn't think I can. My teachers say I'm just not good enough. You can believe what they would tell you, and do not discount the understanding that when you sit in front of anything, even such as what you are sitting in front of hearing us right now, that anything you sit in front of listening to, that you are receiving thoughts as well. We are giving you thoughts that you may receive or not receive. Be careful what you sit in front of and what you listen to, because you will be given thoughts, and you may be accepting thoughts that are not good for you if you are not careful. Ideas and beliefs. So much so-called education is nothing more than debilitation for your soul and your mind and your body. So much of what you're told as education is debilitating to your mind and body and takes you further from yourself, which is why so many of you are struggling, because so-called education on this planet has fallen down to a very low level of simply you are a subject to receive what we are telling you to receive and nothing more. And many of you live your lives somewhat difficultly, not being able to get outside of that illusionary system of thinking that you've been given. And we say to you, be mindful of whatever thoughts you would receive. But you are dynamic, you are powerful, you are strong, you are a creator. You must actualize that for yourself. Do not spend so much time trying to convince other people how they should be. You need to convince yourself how you need to be with your own independent understanding of what you wish to be. What thoughts are you thinking, and from where did they come? Question that, and you'll begin to realize that most of the thoughts in your mind were not yours, and that you must learn to select and choose those that are more purposeful for your creative process in this dimension. Question from Casey. Hi, WMF. I am wondering if it is possible to heal my skull as it becomes too thin to sleep. Are there any messages for me about healing my brain damage? Thank you very much, Casey. Thank you for that wonderful question. The first thing is you have to decide that the brain is healing. This is the simplest way I can. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a medical intuitive, but I will tell you what they're telling me to tell you right now. And they're saying you must understand the simple functioning of how your consciousness interacts with your physical organism, that you may say to the hand, open and close, and it shall open and close. That you can say to the eyes, close and open. You may say to the head, look this way, look that. You may say to the body what you wish it to do. And if the intention of your perception is persistent and consistent enough, then the body will begin to take on the command that you give it. That your skull is growing thicker and stronger and more powerful every day in every way. That your brain is a vibrant, vital, dynamic organ that heals and restores itself in every moment of your existence. That there are functions in your consciousness that can significantly change the influence that you have over the conditions of your physical organism, indeed your entire physical world. You have so much more capability than you have in accepting the thoughts that you are simply damaged, or that your sciences tell you one thing is true simply based on what they only know, and what they do not know gets excluded. And we would say to you right now, dear one, that you may say this. You must be consistent in speaking to the bone to become strong and powerful, to grow thick and vibrant, that the brain is a vital, rejuvenating, revitalizing organ that you interact with. You must become very persistent and consistent in the energy of these thoughts, that the body will learn the new function, just as your hand had to learn to open and close. how it had to be taught how to write, how to wave. The cells had to be taught the function in order to function that function. Your brain and your skull must be taught a new function because they have been damaged. They must be taught that they can repair themselves, to rejuvenate and revitalize themselves. They are capable of doing this. You must become very diligent and persistent, repetitive, consistent, persistent towards the consciousness of your flesh so that it learns to take the new function onto itself. So that it learns to take that function onto itself. Just as the function of speech had to be taught to the consciousness of the body, so too healing. So too healing can be a function that you teach your body, and it shall learn these things. Your sciences already well understand the function that you can take but a single cell of the body and create an entire body identical to that which the cell came from, which means that every single cell in your body contains the full knowledge of every other part of that form and can be instructed to carry that function out again. Whether it is a liver cell or a heart cell, you may command it to be so, and it shall be so. But you must be persistent in learning this function, that you have this level of autonomy and authority. You must come to the understanding of this. And you come to the understanding by the practical application of what we have already defined that you should do and think and consider. That a body must be taught, a cell must be trained to function a certain way, that you can instruct cells to do very specific things as a function of your will. As easily as you can tell your hands to open and close, you may give that function. The only considerations then are what inside you would be resistant to allowing that function to happen. What would be resistant in you for allowing a healing to happen? Because if your clarity and your understanding is precise, then the form must yield to you. The flesh must yield to you. Unless, of course, you have underlying beliefs that say this is not possible. My experience tells me this is the way it is. If you have beliefs and conceptions inside yourself that deny the function that we suggest that you have, then it shall be denied to you. Do you understand, we hope? Very few come to us with such a wondrous desire to understand the function of healing in such a profound way. Given the opportunity to do so, that you have this opportunity to demonstrate the truth of your consciousness and the autonomous authority that you have over your mind and your body, and that many of you are given this opportunity, but often defer yourself to a lesser understanding of the principles that we're expressing to you right now. Your sciences are limited by what they know. We are not limited by what they know. We know what they know not. And you must know what you know not to know as we do. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Really appreciate that, Casey. Thank you so much for that question. And I hope you got that, Casey. Whatever you felt, whatever, because I know they were transmitting a lot of energy to you. So whatever you received from them, Casey, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you experienced from them, their energy. Please let us know. I'm curious. I know how I felt with it coming through my body. It literally is like this flow that comes through. Literally like crystal clear, just beautiful, warm, light, liquid love. It's the best way I could, so many different words I could give it, so many adjectives. It's a beautiful feeling when you can let that energy flow through you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I've got a couple more minutes. I think we got about 5 more minutes here, and then I'm going to have to trundle into another aspect of my three-dimensional life. Hi, guys. Any tips for connecting with our dreams? Haven't been able to remember my dreams for years. Oh boy, you're in for it, girl. You're in for it. You're going to get it now. When you ask a question like that, it's already, they're racing towards you. You get ready tonight. Just get ready tonight. Okay? You ask, you shall receive. They've been waiting a long time for you to ask. Yeah. Because your guides and angels have been standing around you waiting for you to ask them, because they know how to do what you don't know how to do. Once you suddenly know that there's something, you have guides. Everybody has guides and angels. Doesn't matter who they are. Some are high vibrational beings, some are low. If you're a low vibrational personality, you're going to connect to low vibrational energies, but you can always raise your energy up. But yeah, have a great night tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun for you. Come back tomorrow. We're live tomorrow at 10 a.m. We do a discussion and a short meditation process to help people begin the process of reassuming authority over the mind and body. But I highly recommend that you take our masterclass series, learn in a community setting with people that are like-minded on the journey of eliminating suffering and restoring love to their lives, because love is the ultimate expression of good in life. It's abundance. Love is abundance. Love is joy. Love is happiness. Love is creativity. Love is good people. Love is all the things you want to experience. Fear is the opposite. And you want to get into an environment where other individuals are like you, seeking to become the highest expression of themselves. So go register to the masterclass, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Register today. Right? Do that right now. Yeah. That's so cool. Thank you for that, Trish. Appreciate the roses. Thank you so much. I dreamt in my nana holding my late son, who was older than when he passed. Yeah, we've gotten that one. No worries about it. Fun things happen. I tried that the night before and just fell asleep. I will keep trying. You didn't fall asleep. You know, one of the things they taught us, people that are beginning to learn to meditate think they fall asleep. They say, no, you're not falling. You're actually in the process of falling awake. When you're beginning, what happens to a lot of people in the beginning of meditation is they think they fall asleep. But actually the opposite has happened. You've actually fallen awake. And they go into great detail about how that is and why that is. When you get the understanding of why that is, what they mean by falling awake, it's a beautiful thing. They teach all that. Again, they teach you that in the masterclass. What is falling awake? Because your body's going to go through a process where it literally does fall asleep and you remain awake. You're no longer the personality. You're no longer memories. You're no longer the body. You are awareness. Right? And it's a beautiful thing when you hear their explanation of it. It's wonderful how that actually works. EKG is asking, why do I dream every day some days and sometimes I don't dream for weeks at a time? They're telling me to tell you that oftentimes you're asking for information and guidance and they give it to you, and they're giving you time to apply it, to apply what they've taught you. If you haven't applied it, then they're going to come back, but they give you time, right? Your guardian angels give you time. So they give you downloads of information into the mind, but it's up to you to interpret that information properly and then to apply it. And once you've applied it, then it's integrated. And that's what they're saying they're doing. So they come, they give you a download, they give you time to apply it, they come back and they give you more. That's what it is for you anyway, right? It's different for different people sometimes. Thank you so much. Hi. Did I know I have a symmetrical face? I never thought about my face. Is my face symmetrical?
Yeah, I guess so.
My wife says she guessed so. Yeah, I think my face is symmetrical. It's a face I love to look at in the mirror every day, and everybody should feel that way. When you get up and go to the bathroom, you should. I remember a time in my life when I was young, and I would get up And I go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror and I go, oh, you again. Literally, I would actually wake up through most of my early adult years. I would resent what I was seeing in the mirror. Now I look in the mirror and go, thank you. And I love and I appreciate it. I'm grateful for that reflection in the mirror because it's the body that allows me to exist here. Why not be grateful for the consciousness of this form that lets you live here? But thank you for that. A symmetrical face. I've never thought that way. Symmetrical. I don't know, is that more masculine or more feminine?
It's more attractive because it's symmetrical.
Okay, she says it's more attractive because it's asymmetrical. Well, thank you very much. I feel attractive now. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. A presence and tingling. Thank you. You're very welcome. Fresh water is extremely helpful with grounding. Yes, indeed. It is. It truly is. Vertical's asking, is there any message for my pleading guides? Yes. Be still today. Be still in love. I've always used the energy to heal myself and my family. Yes. Heal the planet too. Wonderful. Try meditation before going to bed. That's another good idea. Yeah, it's grateful to see you guys helping each other. This is a community that's growing really rapidly. Remember to share, like, subscribe. Whatever you can do, follow. Whatever you can do to tell the algorithm that this is necessary. Get involved. I mean, this is a time of awakening. We've only got two choices here. Love or fear. That's the only choice humanity has. Every individual. There's no other spectrum of experience here. There's love and there's fear. And we can see both of them out pictured in the world right now, right? Drusilla, I'm so glad you're here. And sweetheart, you are always great. I'm always grateful and welcome when you can come. You're always welcome. And if you've got things to do, I'm always grateful that your life makes you happy and fulfilled too. But thanks for coming by today. Drusilla is our moderator on my YouTube channel. So I'm glad you're here. And of course, SJK pops in once in a while and helps out too. So we got some really great helpers in this community as well. Thank you so much. Drusilla is saying here, I can't believe how my body moves. I was couch bound for 2 years. So Drusilla came into our program, I guess about 3.5, 4 years ago. She's one of our very first students. When they gave us these courses, you have to teach these courses. We will speak through you. We will channel through you. And we will say and do what we know others need to hear in order for them to learn how to create for themselves. Drusilla came to our master class and she's couch bound for 2 years. And they gave her a process and a technique for interacting with her knees energetically differently than she ever had. Now she's out and walking and turning around. So it's literally the people that could not walk can walk, and people that could not see can see. The blind can see, the lame can walk. It's a powerful thing when the Ascended Masters work with us. It really, really is. Thank you for sharing that with us, Drusilla. And thank you for being a part of our lives. We love that. Casey saying, thank you. Wow, thank you. I'm sobbing. I've had many doubts, but this truly helped me understand what I can do. I'm so happy, that you can get that you can grasp that for yourself, because the trick then is just to be persistent with it, to tell your skull you're getting thicker and stronger. You are a powerful skull, to be persistent in what they told you to do. But I'm so grateful for you, Casey. Thank you so much for sharing that place in your life. I know how difficult it can be when you have a physical challenge that's like that, but you have it for a good reason. And when you can demonstrate from your own expression that you can heal, you can direct the body to heal. You can direct cells all the time. We do that, but you can actually direct very intimate functions of the body. You can learn to direct intimate functions. I'm so happy for you. I'm so grateful. So wonderful. Thank you. So for those of you that are just joining us, Casey is a gentleman who's had a severe head injury, and part of his skull is very thin and soft, and he can't sleep at night. And the brain has been harmed by that accident. And his question was quite simple. Is there anything I can do that my guides and angels can tell me what I can do to begin to fix this? And what they told him is you have to learn to assert your thought over the body and tell the body you can heal, tell the bone what to do, tell the brain that it's regenerative. And you must be persistent. I'm paraphrasing now. You must be persistent and consistent in what you say to your mind and say to your body, so that you keep telling the skull, you're getting stronger every day, thicker and thicker. The brain is regenerating, rejuvenating, revitalizing. You must tell the cells what to do, and you must tell them repeatedly until they learn. You must tell them, again, I'm paraphrasing what they said to him. So they must tell the cells repeatedly until they learn to pick up that function, right? Because they will. Once they get the message enough, they start carrying it out. Thank you so much. Debbie's saying here, that answer for Casey, that answer from you, Casey, where is that? That answer for you, Casey, is helping out other people. So thank you. I'm so grateful when you guys share your experience, when you ask really important questions like, how do I heal my body? How do I deal with this emotion? The answers that your guides and angels will give to you through me can help so many other people. Your own pain your own willingness to address and learn how to heal your own mind, your own body, gives an example, a demonstration to others that they can heal too. And we see that all the time in the masterclass, people getting healed emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's a beautiful thing when you're around that. And I'm grateful to be part of this community. I'm grateful you're part of this community. Thank you so much. Thank you. A simple way to, somebody's saying here, emit fiesti. A simple way to remember dreams is to set an alarm for 3 to 4 hours after you go to bed. You'll be in REM, write down your dreams and review them in the morning before you forget. That's another great way. But again, you just tell your mind, you have to tell your mind, you will remember. Tell it, you will remember. You got to talk to your mind, because your mind is the vehicle. Your mind is the bridge. Your physical brain is the electromagnetic crossing point between the non-physical realms and the physical dimension. So information moves through our minds into spirit, and from spirit into our minds. Is what they tell me. And that you can tell the brain, you will remember. You say, as you're going to sleep, you say to the brain, you're going to remember any dream you had tonight. You'll remember, and tell it that every night. And eventually the brain will learn to do what you tell it to do. Just like it learns 2 + 2 is 4, the brain had to be taught that to do that. And your child might have had to hear that 50 times before the brain finally 2 + 2 is 4. So you must tell your brain, you will remember the dreams. You will remember the dreams. You will remember the dreams. And keep telling it until it learns to do that. Because the brain and the body learn through repetition. The brain and body learn through repetition, right? Very exciting. I got time for 2 more questions, and then I'm just having such a great time with you guys today. So it was wonderful. Wonderful. What do my guides tell me, trying to tell me as I am fighting addiction? Okay, thank you so much. I can speak from firsthand experience as well. But their answer to you is stop fighting and focus on something other than what you are fighting. When you find the urge for the addiction that you call this addiction, we call it a natural inclination to something else that's been misunderstood. But there is pain inside you. There is anger inside you. There is sadness inside you that needs your love. That the function of emotion that comes up that precipitates the action of addiction is where you can transform and overcome the behavior of addiction by dealing with the underlying energetic emotion from within you that is calling to you for its love. When you feel that anger or that sadness, turn to it and say to it, I am with you. I love you. I shall take care of you. Be in that state of grace towards your suffering. Be in that state of grace towards your own suffering. And you will find the need for the substance that allows you to hide those emotions away again will become unnecessary. Because when you love that which is hidden and heal it, your love will heal it. Do this. Whenever you feel that urge, say to the urge, I'm with you. I love you. I will take care of you. That will not take care of you. I will take care of you. And then do good things for it. Give your body good food and good water, good things. Exercise your body. Demonstrate to it that you will take care of it. Show it a new way. Show it a new way that you love it. Right? Most addiction, from my experience and what I've observed in other people, most addiction is a simplified way of trying to bypass not knowing how to deal with certain emotions inside that we acquire, memories, thoughts, experiences. And that once you have a mechanism, a way of addressing your own internal emotions, which we do in our 101, our 102 masterclass, which is called Liberation, where you literally get a chance to interact with your internal emotions in a whole new way that allows you to experience an inner transformation that you cause yourself by the way you interact with your own mind and body. And they teach that in great detail in the 102 Masterclass. Again, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, sign up for our Masterclass series. We'll love to have you. You have a great time. You're going to learn some incredible things, and you'll awaken to who you really are. One last question here. Oh, there's so many great questions here. I've got to just choose one. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Looking for a question here. I've already answered one of yours today, Danielle, so I'm going to ask somebody else. Thank you so much. I'm looking for one on TikTok. Question on TikTok. Yes, she did. She did reunite with him, but it was very brief because he came into an incarnation very quickly. She's coming back into an incarnation as well. Yeah. My father passed. Okay, I will. Okay. My father passed in 92. No one has ever been able to connect with him. Would love a message from him. He says you're so hard-headed. He says you are one hard-headed person. Yeah, he says you're really hard-headed. It's difficult to get through to you sometimes. Yeah. Hang on, I'm just trying to get tuned into this image he's sending me. I don't know why, but I'm being sent like it's like a giant wooden square. It's like the tools. It's like a wooden square. It's like an old carpenter square, and it's measuring a box. It's sitting on a box. It's a carpenter square, wooden carpenter square. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but this square is sitting on top of a box. He says, inside, the treasure is inside. But this wooden square is so, he keeps drawing my attention back to this wooden square. The box. Something about the box has to be opened. The box has to be opened. But there's this square. He keeps showing me this square, and it's wooden. It's a wooden square. It's like an old tool. Yeah, stubborn. He says he's been trying to get through you for long, but you're really stubborn. Is there a way that you can? Yes. What can I say to her that would be? I already have. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to say to her at this time? He's saying that you need to deal with the back. You need to deal with your back. Get your back cracked is the words he's using. You need to get your back straight. Your back needs to be straightened out, whatever it is. He's saying if you'd be open to me, If you'd be truly open to me, I'd talk to you. I'd talk to you in a second. You'd truly be open to me. Truly be open to me. Wow. So whatever that box you've got him in, right? You can't, but he's very clear about this square, something about this wooden square. Keeps repeating that again and again and again. Anyway, I'm going to go, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. I want to wish all of you much, much love. Remember, today is a brand new day. This is a brand new moment. And make the most of it. What you think creates an energy that creates your life. Have a wonderful, a joyful day. Much love to all of you. And I will see all of you at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for the discussion and meditation tomorrow. Bye, everybody.